Getting back to one of our lead stories, let's go live now to Parktown, Johannesburg, where Mbalenhle Mthethwa is live for us covering the state capture inquiry. Mbali, thank you very much indeed for your time. The commission awaits Angelo Agrizzi's second return on the stand, but now we hear that the former Bosasa auditor, Piet Venter, that Agrizzi had actually threatened him with invoices. What did he say with this regard, Mbalenhle?
Good morning, Blaine. Yes, indeed. He did, Piet Venter did detail how he was threatened by a former Bosasa COO, Angelo Agrizzi, and he spoke about how his first statement was written under duress, and he says that Angelo Agrizzi had made him aware of his involvement in the creation and formulation of what seemed to have been fraudulent invoices under a name, under a company name, a dormant company rather, by the name of Mioto Trading, and he used this information and threatened that he would, leak this information to the media. And he says this was basically something that was he'd become familiar with and come to know Angelo Agrizzi by, in the sense that if there was anything, he'd always threaten that he would leak the information to the media. And he also detailed how Angelo Agrizzi had come to him with a plan to bring down then CEO rather, still is the CEO Gavin Watson, and he said that he questioned him and asked him if he had wanted to go down with him, and it's almost as though he knew what would happen and all the events that would follow after he had leaked the information. It seemed as though he had anticipated that the banks would close Bosasa's bank accounts and they would refuse to do business with them. So he knew that, and it was basically a tit for tat exchange, saying that if Gavin Watson does not cooperate, in the sense that he cedes one of the contracts he has with the government correctional services, he will then leak this information, and the things that will follow will include the bank closures, banks closing their bank accounts and so on. But he did mention that he wrote the first statement rather under duress, and that some of the stuff that he had written in his first statement were actually copied from a former Bosasa CFO, Andries van Tonder, and that it was written at the home of former Bosasa COO Angelo Agrizzi. I understand that there is an up sound that you've cut, but this is what he had to say yesterday.
Mr. Agrizzi you wouldn't go against him. It's almost the same as with Mr. Watson. They would destroy you. He threatened me by this TRM commission. He said to me that he would expose me with that.
Mbalenhle, what did Mr. Venter say about alleged tax fraud by the Bosasa group?
Okay. He said that, to a certain extent, he said that they, as auditors, they would have been able to flag such things. But he spoke about one of Bosasa's subsidiary, which was a prawn farm, which was making losses. And because it was making losses, Gavin Watson had wanted them to maintain an assessed loss. And basically what this means, that if you maintain an assessed loss, it means that you don't pay for tax in the future when you do make a profit, when the company does turn profitable. And he explained that the company was then repurposed and the name was changed, and this was in an effort to maintain the assessed loss, and this is obviously in the interest of offsetting the tax to be paid in the future. So this meant that they were able to avoid paying taxes, evade taxes of 38 million rand. That is according to the auditor who spoke to us, who spoke to the commission and testified before the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into State Capture yesterday.
Yeah, Mr. Venter also spoke about certain payments Bosasa made over the years. Tell us about that.
Okay, so this, the answer to this question basically ties into, the first question. So there's a company called Mioto Trading, which was a dormant company that Venter had used to pay bribes and also to invoice RTM. No, my apologies, it's Tax Risk Management, TRM. And these were the invoices that Angelo Agrizzi had been using to threaten Venter. And basically what had happened and how this whole story started is that they needed, Venter had suggested the services of Daniel Erasmus, who is the owner of Tax Risk Management. And because Bosasa did not want, they were reluctant and they did not want to really go directly to TRM, they then suggested that he open a company separately and that he would then source the services and invoice for the services from TRM. He then suggested a dormant family business by the name of Mioto Trading, and that's how this whole slur of this company basically being used as a mechanism to pay bribes started. And he then he then sourced the services of TRM, and then after that he got the invoices from TRM, which would then be sent back to Bosasa, and those invoices would then be inflated as per Angelo Agrizzi's instruction, as well as Andries van Tonder, who we know is the former CFO, and they would then inflate the invoice to Bosasa, and this would then include my apologies, they would increase and inflate this amount in order to get themselves a commission. And these were the invoices that then were later used to threaten Venter. But then this very same account, yet again, was also used as a mechanism to bribe government officials, as well as a mechanism, rather, to pay for bribes and so on. We heard yesterday that some of the account was used to pay money into Majava Incorporated for our former COO, SABC COO, Claude Mutweneng's legal fees. We know that the money initially had come from one of Gavin Watson's personal companies, which is called Lamazest, and the money went from Lamazest into Mioto Trading and then went into Majava Incorporated. Later on, we also heard that the very same account, Mioto, the very same business account, obviously, was Mioto Trading, was then used to pay 500,000 Rand into a company, a foundation rather, that is associated with President Cyril Ramaphosa's son, Andile Ramaphosa. And he says that he told the commission, Pete Venter told the commission, that the money had come from Gavin Watson's personal account and went into Mioto, and then he had been requested to basically pay this amount into Andile Ramaphosa's foundation.
Yeah, I think we've got a clip of Mr. Venter testifying in this regard. Let's play that clip.
I was instructed to pay the 500,000 Rand, part of the 3 million Rand payment which was received, to EFG2 into an ABSA bank account. Gavin Watson mentioned that the payment is towards Andile Ramaphosa's foundation.
Okay, Mbalenhle, is Mr. Venter likely to conclude his testimony today? Because we understand, according to reporting, that Angelo Agrizzi is likely to take the stand tomorrow.
Yes, definitely. He is appearing in court today, and for that reason, he's not able to appear before the commission today. However, yesterday, evidence lead Advocate Revilo Molefe had asked the commission for Pete to return to the commission for at least another 2 hours, because she felt that there was still enough time for she needed the 2 hours with Pete Venter to just cross-examine and get more testimony and get more evidence relating to Bosasa. We know that this week the focus is on Bosasa, and basically we do expect Angelo Agrizzi to make a second return to the commission this week, and we hope that he's going to be here tomorrow.
The commission kicks off at 10 o'clock in Parktown, Johannesburg. SABC's Mbalenhle Mthethwa live for us in Parktown, Johannesburg. And Mbali, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Okay.